What's up, world? It's your boy Sway from MTV News, and for the last time during the regular season, we are back with episode Patrick Ewing of Knifey Lion Radio. In these trying times, the world turns to us, and we turn back to say, we are the gift. Joining me from the Rope Bridge Shark Walk at Newport Aquarium is the fin sore swims with gators, Zach.
Yeah, I boycott the aquarium, but carry on.
I think I might have done swims with the gators already, actually. And from one bus stop before Zanesville, it's the most famous LaSalle Lancer who Steve Shabbat praised to not see in a dark alley. It's Nick from Soccer.
We got memberships to the aquarium, so once again, Zach and I are at odds.
Wow, you vegan poser. Are you a pescatarian too? You gonna drop that bomb on Zach right now?
No, I'm no animals.
What is an animal? Chad is in a Mexican jail. Today we throw all the dirt in the world on top of this endless, record-breaking, nauseating regular season. We couldn't stop winning. And for the sake of tradition, we'll do a brief recap of the 3-3 thrashing against Nashville SC. We'll choose DEKEL SMASH. We'll pass out James the Jeweler 5% off on Tuesdays between 1 and 2 coupon to the FCC of the week. And also, before the playoffs begin next week, Secretary of the Pride, vast knower of soccer minutia, and constant carrier of the hammer and sickle, Kevin Wallace will provide us with a 1-minute preview of the USL Western Conference playoffs. What?
Totally screwed up on 2 minutes. Enjoy.
That segment will truly blow at least 3 minds, as we here at KLR have paid zero attention and give zero shits about the USL Western Conference. Kevin will also be providing an MLS minute for episodes next season, unless he blows it today. Nick, what are your thoughts about that? Things are changing.
It's getting wild, man. Getting wild.
We're a real soccer podcast for 1 minute at a time.
Is he a communist?
No, I know what the hammer and sickle means. Do you think I was just throwing that out there for no reason?
Hey, I'm all about it. Carl Linder might have a problem.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens by the end of this. And after that, it's time for
POTPOURRI,
where there's been a decent amount of weirdness to talk about. And we'll do that. And that's probably only half the podcast, because if we survive all that, it'll be time for our end of year awards. I was thinking about calling them the Clyers. Should we go with that? Or does anybody have a better name for our awards?
Ooh, I got nothing.
Zach, you can't be worse than Nick.
Are you drinking out of a Cincinnati Soccer Talk water bottle?
It's full of their tears.
Interesting.
It was free swag at the kick. I'm gonna call it kickball at the foot golf tournament. Weigel water. In the interest of time, John Hark's Cave of Wonders, and we are sponsored by Speedway. Zach, I will not speed past this. Do you have a Speedway story before we get into the minutia? I said that word already.
No, I went the other day. You got like 7 minutes to get to work. You know, it's gonna take probably 11 or 12. But you still stop at Speedway.
Nick, I gave you a whole week to do some personal investigating. Any news?
Yeah, actually, I did stop. I had a hankering for some Lay's dill pickle flavored potato chips.
Fuck.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
Well, I mean, I hate pickles, so I'm not gonna eat the pickled chips.
Oh, man, they're so good. They're the best. But yeah, the Speedway right next to my house carries them, and very reliably so. Every time I've been in there, they've had them. So
one thing I noticed last time I was at Speedway, they do carry the X Extra Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Before you could only get them, I'd only seen them in Illinois near Chicago, but they're bringing them home. They know what Daddy wants. Zach, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, that's completely off the subject. I should save it, but since you mentioned Chad in the intro, I saw him on Friday night. He was telling me he was with a bunch of people, and one of them was like, yeah, I was just listening to this FC Cincinnati podcast, and they were saying blah, blah, blah. And Chad is like, oh, which podcast was it? And they said to him, wait, you're not. No. They had to walk away, put a hand on the wall, like, you got to be kidding. You're not.
That's proof, folks. Chad is very real. He's still living off his KLR fame. Just goes to show you something. I don't know what it is.
Not over there. Anyway.
Yeah, but moving right along to the recap. Oh, is this sad, guys? Last regular season recap. You thought it would never end, but it did. Yeah, Nashville. In Nashville. honestly didn't give it a second thought about attending, but a lot of people did. Saw him on the hillside, cheering him on. Starting lineup, it is interesting because it was strong. Nick, I'll ask you first. Did you notice anyone missing from the lineup and or the 18?
I sure did. I thought for sure that our message was going to get out there, and apparently we just have a coach with a cold fucking heart, man.
All he does is win compassionatelessly. Yeah, our one, I think there was one tweet with Free Village. Might have gotten 2 retweets. The likes don't cut it, folks. If you want to really get the message out, you got to retweet it. But yeah, honestly, I wasn't really surprised, but I thought we might get like a Cicerone type deal or one of those starting lineups. But no, this, the announcer's saying this could be, and they know, McCloskey knows. It's like, this could be a sneak peek at our starting lineup in the playoffs. My question to you, Zach, do you think that was a smart move?
No, not really. I mean, I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's...
Probably doesn't matter either.
I don't think it's helpful one way or the other. And, you know, Koch doesn't owe anybody any handouts, really.
No.
We got Ledesma out there trying to get his spot as a MVP, so you play him. Corbin Bone making 100 appearances, so you play him. The keeper one, I don't know. You don't want to lose to Nashville. I'm not saying that Village would have caused it, but it makes sense why you'd throw a strong lineup.
I was kind of like, we should lose to Nashville. I didn't want to see him again. As it currently stands, where you are, 4:30 p.m., Bethlehem Steel is up 1-0. I think if things ended exactly how they are, even though I don't think the other game has happened yet, we would play Nashville again. Yeah, that was a pretty exciting game. My first thing that I noticed, our man Nazmi Albadoui, a little clean shaven and took the sideburns up. Hopefully it was a barber who I can blame and not himself, but those sideburns went up way too high. I think we call those asshole sideburns around these parts. And yeah, not a good look. Nick, so that was obviously the biggest part of the game. What did you think about Nazmi's sideburns?
Yeah, no, you were texting us during the game about it. It was apparently really getting under your skin.
I only focus on the important things.
I think it helped his game, man. I actually think he had a really good game last night. I was thinking about what Zach said last time about that's one of his positions. You kind of don't want to stand out. If you don't stand out, it means you're doing everything right. And that was the way I kind of felt about him. Like he looked pretty solid. He had a couple really good slick passes. So yeah, man, whatever he's going to do to his hair, do it.
I actually said last week that's a position where you don't want to go unnoticed, but the sentiment is still there. He played well, I thought, and if that ball doesn't bobble up, I think he would have scored that one on his left foot.
Agreed.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I remember there was a guy we worked with. He showed up for work with high sideburns like that, and someone was like, "Dude, what'd you do that for?" And he was like, "I got a job interview." We're like, "No, that's not what we're saying. Not why did you get a haircut?"
Higher. Once you get to the, it's not funny anymore when you get to the top of the ear. Then it's like, oh,
he didn't go. They were there.
No, he's not there. I'm saying when it gets that high, then it's like you're 40 and you've never left home and you grocery shop with your parents still. That's what's going on. Once it gets to the ear height, that's neither here nor there. Some other things. The first goal was we left fucking Big Bird Tucker Hume open for a header. Some people were throwing Blake Smith under the bus. Some people will Hoyt. But overall, I say Blake Smith had himself a classic Blake Smith game.
He made some people look fucking dumb a couple times, too.
Yeah, so Blake Smith gives and he takes. Adi started. How do we think Adi did out there?
Boy, I don't know, man. That was probably the low point for me. I thought the team played great. But for me, Adi, it just seemed like he kind of moves lethargically or something. I mean, obviously the guy's full potential. I think he can bring a lot to the team, but that was probably the one player, honestly, I thought should have been subbed out at, halftime, essentially, because I thought everyone else, Blake Smith had a couple moments for sure, but I don't know, that touch last night just wasn't there. He didn't have it. He moves at a different speed than everyone else.
Yeah, which is slow as fuck.
He's saving that juice for next week. Maybe he's the only one who got the message. He's like, I'm not giving him any of my tricks. Watch this loose touch.
I don't know. I think Nick's right. I think you sub him off at halftime and send him a message, but they're not going to do that.
I wasn't expecting him to start in the first place. I was a little surprised about that. But their field was not as, for a baseball field, was better than we're used to.
Yeah, he was trash. Let's be honest. He was garbage.
Yeah, he was.
So, whatever.
But on the flip side of trash, our man Corbin Bone scores 2 more goals, and they were assisted, but for the most part, I felt like he just took it by the scruff of the neck, cut in. Pickens started aging right before our eyes, and we won't skip ahead to man of the match, but he made a strong case. Zach, how did Corbin Bone look to you? You're always shitting on Corbin Bone. You just will not respect Corbin Bone. Has he finally earned your respect in the last game of the season?
Yeah, I think he should make the 18 next week.
Yeah. The quest to get Hoyt a goal ended with a whimpery fart. There really wasn't any the last few weeks, honestly. I thought we had some momentum towards getting Hoyt a goal, but that kind of fell off. Nick, do you have any other moments that really stuck out with you in that game?
No, nothing that comes to mind, but overall, I think Tyler Gibson did bring something to the table last night.
Yeah, I forgot he was out there. Tyler Gibson started.
The game was really, but for me, it was about our midfield, and specifically Corbin Bone, Tyler Gibson, Mike LaHood, and Nazmi. Those guys I thought had a great game. We talked about earlier in this podcast about there was a lot of bunching up and whatnot going on in the field, and I felt like Tyler Gibson was keeping back, giving enough distance and enough space for everybody in front of them to operate.
Can I say
no?
Yeah, Nick's right. I thought he did go backwards a little too often, but he kept possession really well. I can't really complain. I think maybe just Kenny and Nazmi, when they're both out there, that's when you see the positional problems. Maybe it's just in my head. Maybe I'm I don't know, seeing what I want to see. But I don't think they can play well together. They fight with each other when they're out there, and they bump into each other when they're not fighting. So last night I thought was better. Richie
Ryan made his triumphant return. Zach, I'll ask you. He didn't get a chance to show too much. He did get an assist on the second Corbin Bone goal. How'd Richie Ryan look?
I thought he looked pretty good.
Lasso, really the moment of the game for me. Lasso attempted scissor kick. A beautiful sight. Didn't get much power behind it, but oh my. Zach, did you end up getting to see a replay of it?
I didn't.
Wow. Nick, what were your thoughts? That was clearly the highlight of the game.
That was really impressive. Think about how big that dude is.
I do all the time. It's constant in my mind.
How much does he weigh? I mean, I know you probably have that number.
Hold on.
Just to think, that frame getting up that high for an overhead kick is really impressive.
Yeah, so the game in general, I was kind of wishy-washy. When they go up and I'd be like, fine, just fucking let them win. And then we tied. I'm like, okay. And then we went ahead. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. And then they tied, and I was like, whatever. So I think it all worked out in the end, and we keep our streak. We set the record for most unbeaten games in a row. I think we got some other record. I don't know. I think we're the first USL team ever to have 4 players with at least 10 goals. Basically every record you could fucking drum up in your brain. Well, we've got it. Zach, do you have any final thoughts on this last regular season game before we move on to our world famous segments?
Yeah, I wish Patty would have fucking killed that guy who shoved Nazmi. I thought his tackle was a yellow card, but it wasn't violent at all. It didn't cause any pain, and then he gets shoved in the chest for it. I think DEKEL would have let that guy know.
Well, I'll segue right into this week's edition of
DEKEL Smash.
Because for me, my DEKEL Smash was Nazmi clipping that guy. The guy shoving him in the chest, which just seemed like so unwarranted. I mean, it was a yellow card for sure, but it wasn't like he came in from behind and he just tripped the guy. It wasn't like he was going to break the guy's leg.
Yeah, like exactly what I just said.
Yeah. Well, you stole my thunder. It was in my notes. I could not read it. You could lip read Nazmi. He was like, "Get the fuck out of my face! Huh? Get the fuck out of my... Shut the fuck!" It was beautiful. Not intimidating at all, especially with those mutton chops.
Wouldn't you have loved if that Nashville player put his hands up by his ears, like made fun of his sideburns? I would switch allegiances right there.
Well, Nazmi wouldn't even gotten it. He's like, "What was that dude even doing?" And then like someone would be like, "Mate."
Yeah, Patty would be like, "Mate."
Those things are
your sideburns.
Those things.
Your sideburns
Those things are fucking butchered, mate. It's foggier than 3 a.m. at the Cove, mate.
Those sideburns are gash. he's a Cockney English woman.
I was gonna quote a line from Blood Diamond for Koch, but I don't know fucking anything in that. But yeah, so then Patty later got a fucking fuckle. That's probably what they call it in Ireland. He got a fuckle good shove in later. There was a few moments, a few bodies went flying. It's not DEKEL SMASH, but Blake definitely got away with a PK. He lost the ball and then shoved the dude in the back.
Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about that. That really pissed me off. So he's got the ball down at the touchline, and he's just hell-bent on somehow getting it through the Patty. And so he's like trying to get the angle to make this pass to Patty, who's at the sideline. It's like, just fucking boot it, man. And
yeah,
then
you could see it coming in.
And then he goes for it when there's no angle there at all and loses it. Then should have given up a penalty.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But you're absolutely right. He has the ball basically by the corner flag. He's trying to make that pass. So what does he do? He dribbles into the most dangerous area possible and loses the fucking ball. That was horrible.
But he did it with a smile. So I don't know who I'm actually giving it to. I don't want to give it to the guy who shoved him. I'll give it to Patty. He had a good one in there. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was DEKEL worthy. As for this week's FCC of the week, trying to think of one that's not Corbin Bone because it was so obvious and good. He's won it so many times. I'll throw one out for Richie Ryan because I'm just proud of him. Zach, how about you?
I mean, you don't have to make a fucking hip pick. Corbin Bone's the man of the week.
There's nothing hip about picking Richie Ryan. I'm sure Richie Ryan's a square, an Irish square, which means he's cool. Nick, how about you?
Yeah, I'll look way too pretentious if I go with someone other than Corbin Bone like you did. And I'm going to have to go with Corbin Bone too.
I'm changing mine to Danny Koenig.
Danny Koenig?
Wait, did he even play? I don't remember.
He did play.
Yeah. He was kind of the unsung hero. But Corbin Bone, this is at least your third or fourth FCC of the week. Enjoy your 5% off coupon Tuesdays between 1 and 2. Maybe something, I don't know, a tennis bracelet? That's my favorite thing to suggest. But yeah, congrats to you. And before we get to Potpourri and then the big awards show that everybody's waiting on, very special. This was the last game of the season. Playoffs are almost entirely set. Not quite. The Western Conference, we have, paid zero attention at all to. We had one episode where Zach made fun of the teams based on pretty much just their name. Because of that, and because the playoffs are going to start, and hopefully we're going to meet one of these teams in the finals, I wanted a Western Conference preview, but not a long one. I thought a minute would be perfect. Before we jump into it, Nick, do you have any Western Conference thoughts that you've been saving up for this moment?
Never have and probably never will.
Zach?
Yeah, I have a question. Did Drogba retire?
I think he still plays occasionally. I feel like I've seen him in some tweets.
The USL made a post today saying thanks for everything.
This could be his last season.
Maybe, because I went to his Instagram and I didn't see anything. I was just curious.
But yeah, so Kevin. Kevin Wallace has recorded a 1-minute preview for us, and let's give him a listen.
Our comrade.
He wears the same outfit every single day, like Castro. Take it away.
Well, for most of the year, the Butterflies of Real Monarchs were leading the conference, but like a toddler at Crone Conservatory, their wings were grabbed onto, and they went into a free fall. The top seed in the West are actually Orange County, led by penalty kick expert Aidan Quinn. There's actually a decent chance Aidan Quinn beats Emmanuel Ledesma for the MVP this year in USL. Sacramento Republic, the original FC, came in second by mere 1 point after they too finished the season strong. Cameron Owasa, doing his best Joey Votto impression by being the only player on the team that matters, accounted for 17 goals. The second highest scorer on their team had 5. And Sugar were going down to the Phoenix next, where a very strong team said, I don't care, and squandered a better playoff seed. Dance all you want, but Phoenix is a very strong team with the ability to go deep in the playoffs. Yours truly has them as the eventual winners of the Western Conference with a roster that is simply irresistible. This is a team that hopes to say thanks for the memories, USL, as they too play young volcanoes and erupt into MLS.
Totally screwed up on 2 minutes. Enjoy.
Interesting.
That was the most pro the podcast has ever been.
All right, but for this week's edition of
Potpourri,
on Wednesday, FCC's social media maven, Alex Steck, put out a milquetoast tweet about the FCC versus Nashville game. Beloved retired blonde bro right back Frankie Haydock replied with some confusing fireballs. I'll read them for you now. This is Alex Steck's tweet that really set him off. Pressure's on Nashville FC now.
Wait, do you want me to be Frankie?
Do you want to be Frankie?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be Alex Steck again. Pressure's on Nashville SC now. Last chance to make it into the playoffs versus the number 1 team, FC Cincinnati, on Saturday. Gonna be a good battle. Hashtag Nash versus Sin. Frankie comes in.
Your true person is not real.
Hashtag I just tell the truth.
Never liked you anyway. Knew you were a fake.
He capitalized fake.
Sorry, Alex. I'm over you.
Hashtag take the money and run. He tried to use an ampersand. Can't use that. Can't use that in a hashtag. Hashtag traitor. Hashtag jump ship. Hashtag I stay on my boat until the end. Hashtag so sad for you. Hashtag roots. When somebody tweeted, dude, I hope you got hacked. I know that is not your style.
And he says, nope, Sam. I'm over all the jump shippers. This is me. I've dedicated my life to this franchise. So if you think that this is not me, you're crazy. She took the easy way out. I don't like easy.
Wow.
Can I say, I said in an earlier episode that, you know, no matter what bullshit he said about us giving away free tickets, like, I love Frankie. He's one of my favorite players. Mostly because I thought he was talentless, but, like, he tried so hard and somehow got his way into the national team and, like...
The Bundesliga.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like, man, if this guy could do it... There's hope for all of us. But obviously, now he can really go fucking row a boat.
Nick, let's talk about your theory. Your theory that he knew, you know, not spoiler alert, they saved the crew, that he knew that was coming, so he lashed out in joy at Alex Steck. Do you want to convince me that he knew that they were getting saved, and so he became angry for strange reasons?
I mean, can we be honest here? Is there any way that you're going to be convinced? I mean, you and Zach are over there licking your chops, waiting for me to elaborate on this conspiracy theory.
Well, here's the thing that supports your conspiracy. It seems like a lot of these Save the Crew people had a good idea this was in the works and this was going to happen. And you would think that, you know, someone associated with the team, their brand ambassador, Frankie Hayduck, would at least have a whiff of the same thing. So we all thought it meant like, oh, God, they're definitely not saving the crew. Well, I don't want to speak for we, but a few people thought that, including myself, like, wow, he's pissed because the writing's on the wall. And now he's really lashing out. But he must have known something, which just makes him lashing out seem even fucking stupider.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no,
I think it's kind of somewhere in between. If he was in the dark, then he's really, I don't know. He kind of got shafted.
He would be really pumped to, like, kind of have it confirmed and, you know, within the organization that they're going to be saved. So, yeah, you're right. It would be really weird for him to be, like, really pissy about it. But, you know, the only thing I'm thinking is, like, you know, he's had this grudge against her ever since she made the move. And now that he had this idea that things were going to continue there, he's just, like, kind of, like, letting loose. Plus, he was probably fucking really drunk when he was making all these.
Do you think drinking and driving is okay, Nick?
Yeah, I've always been a full support of it. Drive fast and take chances.
Well, the thing is, if he would have waited a day or two, you know, and then he could have been like premature ejaculation Steck. He could have been part of something special.
I think she probably would have left even without any of this happening, because I bet she's getting more money. It's more exciting. People care more.
Better owner.
Yeah, I mean, it's better for her no matter what, even if they were never.
But yeah, the whole thing was fucking weird. I think he would have gotten, he would have looked like a dick either way, but he'd gotten away with it a little more if he would have waited for the crew to get saved. Like, see, you shouldn't have left. And was it him? Did Twitter shut him down, or did he self-shut down? I don't know. I don't feel like he didn't threaten her or anything. But
no, I don't know. We should probably ask someone who knows him personally.
I don't know. You were defending him pretty hard there, Nick. So is Donald James over there?
Yeah.
Is Derek Joe over there?
If you guys see me at a game beating someone's head in with a wrench, just tell the cops, oh, he's just fiercely tribal. I know him. He's just fiercely tribal.
You know who else is fiercely tribal? ISIS. But I mean, I guess everybody could be.
Oh, that was good.
But yeah, you know, I guess we kind of buried the lead. The crew.
Someone was saying, oh, this is going to be the friendly rivalry. I'm like, no, it's not.
No.
I don't dislike any team more.
They got a lot of shitty fans. There's not going to be any, they got a lot of good fans, but they got plenty of shitbags too. They got into a fight with West Ham supporters. Who could forget? So I'm sure things will pop off eventually. As much as, you know, Mr. Pac-Man wants there to be endless goodwill. No. I'm going to take a nice hot dump on him whenever I get the chance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be fiercely tribal, but he should fuck off to Columbus.
I'm glad I'm glad they'll be there. Those will probably be the best games of the season. Zach, any saved the crew thoughts besides what we've already said?
No.
What else can you say?
No, part of me wanted them to fail. I'm going to be completely honest. But
no, I had that evil little part of me deep down, which was...
In the end, it will be fun to play them, but I would have never put any effort into it. I didn't care that much. Sorry.
If it can happen to them, it can happen to you. No, not till I'm old and don't care anymore. Are we going to say, Nick?
These Austin games versus the crew will be very interesting, I think.
Yeah, it'll take them a few years to get it together.
I mean, so what is the deal? We can talk about that. What is the deal now? Like, so is there just
You've come to the right podcast. I got all your facts, baby.
I guess there's just one expansion slot open now, or what?
I mean, really, they're making up the rules as they go along. But if we're to believe what they've said is true, then yes. And now that St. Louis has like a new billionaire on board, could be them. All I know is it'll never be Sacramento. It's too bad. But before we get to it out in the weeds, let's bring it back to what matters, and that's us. Stadium renderings came out, updated ones. Outside looked about the same, but the inside looked real snazzy. Updated attendance, or not attendance, capacity, 25 to 26,000. It was bright orange. I didn't see any gaps in the lower bowl, and it was brickless. Zach, how'd you feel about what you saw? Are you still feeling positive?
Yeah, I am. I think it looks fucking awesome. I think I texted you guys. I did think something with like a brick facade would have looked cool. I think I sent you guys pics of like Ibrox. I think kind of has a medium like in between, like even though I think they're building a new one, but like an old school feel, but still like modern on the inside. But really, when you look around there, who are you going to model a building after to make it fit in? Everything around there looks like shit, except there's like, you're not going to make it look like Music Hall. I think it's better because as they build around it, everything is going to look new. So I don't know. I don't think I have any complaints, really. I was trying to figure out, looking at the seating map, one thing I don't like from any stadiums, I couldn't really tell for sure, is down one of the sidelines, the lower section, like the lowest section, if those are club seats, that I will have a problem with.
I hope at the very least, obviously, don't put that on the TV side.
Yeah.
Because that makes it hard. I'm hopefully not to watch many home games on TV, but it just looks shitty when you're watching the San Jose games. It's on that side. You want like all fans and steep rows.
Yeah.
You see it on TV.
Yeah. No field level club seats. It's terrible.
I would say that I was kind of like, yeah, bricks and stuff would look kind of cool, but if they half-ass it, it would look kind of bad. And if they really did go like the full way, trying to look like, let's just say they try to look like Music Hall, it'd probably be like, I don't know, 40% more expensive of a stadium to do all that fancy brickwork. Nick, what did you think? Were you excited?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of mimic some of the stuff that you guys already said, I when I first saw the initial renderings, the very, very first ones, I got really excited because I thought it looked really awesome. But then they started talking about, since it was going to be in the West End, but it doesn't make or break my opinion either way. I think they both look cool. I think that you're right about the building cost. I think having all that brick or trying to match the architecture of the area would be just, I mean, it has to be astronomical to do that. Looking on the inside looks amazing. So, I'm not going to be standing there like looking at the outside of the fucking stadium when I go there. I'm more interested in what's going on the inside, and I am thrilled. I think you guys have brought up some good points over text conversations about like, a lot of wasted space in some other stadiums and the corners and stuff. And I think they absolutely nailed the inside of that place.
The Emirates Stadium is kind of smack dab, like it's surrounded by brick buildings and old fucking apartments and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, it feels fucking fine. I don't know. It does look a little like a spaceship kind of landed in the middle of a neighborhood, but I think it's not going to matter. I think it looks great. The inside looks fucking awesome. It's really hard to complain. They had in their head that it was going to be like the Kenny Rogers roaster sign outside of Kramer's apartment. And like, how are these people going to feel trying to sleep? And they have these orange neon lights glaring into their apartment building. I was like,
I'll just turn it off.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
What made it even better was on FCC's official Facebook page, when they tweeted out, they posted their post with the renderings and stuff. Some of these people, I don't know how they could be so surprised at this stuff and yet still see FCC in their feed. A few good ones were, where are they building this? Another one was, who's paying for this? And they say, where's this stadium going to go?
There's one. Is this still going to Oakley? There's one. Did this team make the MLS?
They should put this, like the guy said, they should put this in Fairfield or Milford. Better ease of access. For people in Milford, like I just love the who's paying for this. Like, did you not remember any of this drama? Where is this going? Like, it's still debating. You fucking idiot. This is on FCC's page. You obviously like FCC or whatever.
So we got all the info on the stadium, I guess about 2 hours before they announced it. So we were like texting each other like, ooh, we got fucking juicy take. Like we knew, I guess basically what happened, Carl Lindner was presented with 10 to 12 renderings and he narrowed it down to 2. And this was one of those 2.
I guess so. And then they just fucking...
And then they announced
just released it all anyways.
2 hours later, well before we had our podcast.
We got to do these emergency podcasts with our very basic information. Folks, you are definitely going to believe what we have to tell you because it's not too crazy. But yeah, as someone who would have been fine with some brick, I turned into this like a slave to modernity. Because I was just getting annoyed at people like, this doesn't fit at all. And then like you show them Google Maps, like, fit what? This fucking chain link fence, you asshole.
Yeah.
And our man Dat Dude came in strong with a hashtag we deserves better. That reads weird. We deserves better.
It's West End deserves better.
Yes, I get it. But so I was thinking, is that dude the man you want leading a social media crusade? Probably not. That thing died real fast.
Yeah. He can't even type West End without holding pepper spray.
So true. Have DJ lead that one. He seems like he's on your side aesthetically. And hopefully in no other capacity. But we got to move along because we got a whole award show to deal with here.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, I think it looks fucking great. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for whatever tweaks. It was also revealed that they will be releasing the new branding and stuff about a week after the USL season ends. So mid-November, get your fucking checkbook ready. Moving along to this year's inaugural Clyers. Everyone's talking about the Clyers. Nick, I heard you got stopped in Kroger and someone said, are you excited for the Clyers? What'd you say?
I got bombarded and I told them that this was going to be the award show of the year. They did not want to miss. So
about 2 days after Jonah sent me like the list of awards we were going to do, Cincinnati Soccer Talk did their like silly awards, and I about lost it at work. Sure that they stole his idea. Like I was irate. Turns out
probably not.
Yeah, I think they've done it before. So
if you have done it before, coast is clear. If it's not,
we didn't steal it from you. I swear we didn't know.
Double check your locks at night.
But yeah, I was pretty fired up. I'm glad I didn't go public with that.
I'm glad I'm the only one who tweets from the official account.
Yeah, I am too.
I kind of want to say our passwords because it's so charming. Do you ever have a great password that you almost just want to share with people, but that defeats the whole purpose?
Yeah, Kanye does.
00000. But yeah, so we have a few categories and nominees. That's how award shows work. And we all know who the winner is, but so one of us has just announced the winner. We'll move through it pretty quick. But, this is just the stuff that was important to us this year. And I don't want to call them funny awards. I mean, if they make you laugh, good. But, like, I don't know, this stuff means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's real.
So I hope you take it seriously. First category for this year's Clyers Award. Ooh, this was a tough fought one. It's Best Blonde. And the nominees were Spencer Ritchie, Corbin Bone, and Sim DeWitt. It was hard. Nick, how would you even go about picking one of these guys? I mean, we did, but how would you?
I think I wouldn't pick the person that wasn't a real blonde.
Spoilers. Wow. Well, Nick, I mean, we're not debating. We all know who the winners are, right?
I know.
We've got the envelopes and everything. So you're just revealing some of our criteria. I understand.
But the winner is Sam DeWitt.
Sam. Wow. We're pretty sure he's a natural, and if he's not, that's a world's best eye job.
He is diligent then.
Great hair, Sam, but the other guys, it's really an honor just to be nominated.
Yeah, but congratulations.
This one, I'm surprised we let Nick even vote in this, but we did. Best Christian. This one was probably the most hard fought. It got downright. This one got downright Old Testament.
What's the first one?
You know what I'm talking about. This is the one only the crazies believe. Now, Best Christian, our nominees were Forrest Lasso, Tyler Gibson, Evan Newton, DEKEL SMASH. How did he sneak in there?
I mean, if you're talking Old Testament, he's.
I am. Nick, since I won't have you spoil any more criteria, I'll let you just announce the winner. Who is this year's Best Christian? First into heaven.
Mr. 3F's Forrest Lasso.
Agreed, because we agreed on that beforehand. Zach,
Yeah,
you put up a good fight, and it was a winning fight.
it was. You know, if you can speak to the dead, you're the best Christian.
And how? Folks, I didn't even know Tyler Gibson was a Christian till I learned he attends the same church as Pride member Olivia. So, folks, it's official. We've seen him at church.
God bless.
I spy with my little eyes Tyler Gibson's tiny, tiny legs. I wanted to mention him at some point. No wonder those things broke. I could snap them with a flick. I hate to go negative, but maybe it's a positive because these guys just don't care. Worst dressed of the year. Folks, there weren't a lot of nominees. Forrest Lasso, Jimmy McLaughlin. Jimmy's actually fine, but Zach, and the winner of worst dressed, unless you are from Westchester, then you probably think Forrest Lasso is the best dressed. Who is your worst dressed of the year?
Jimmy McLaughlin is the worst dressed. And he's the one on the team. If I saw him, you know, walking around somewhere, I'd probably be like,
The Pride has their away watch parties at the Dime in Clifton, and an inside source tells me, it was Jason, that Jimmy was there a week previous trying to pick up some chicks. I assumed his line was, "You're a freshman too?" But that can't be confirmed. This year, this one was really hard fought. I don't know how we picked, but we did. Best Coach. Nominees were Johan Demet, Austin Berry, Jack Stern, and that's all.
Jonah, why don't you give us this one?
Oh, this one wasn't even close. Johan! I don't know what you're doing, but you earned an extension. Y'all thought I was going with Jack Stern. He's too obvious. He's jacked, he's enthusiastic, but Johan's pulling the strings. We don't see what he's doing, but he's doing it.
I think all Austin Berry does is tell him to jog on the sidelines.
Yeah, you'll see. We see it perfectly from section 122. Koch goes up, puts his hand on Austin Berry's shoulder and says, blah, blah, blah. Then Austin Berry says over and says, "Coach says jog." It's a tough job.
Plus, Johan, he's been kicked out of like multiple games, right?
I believe he has. That's passion I can get behind. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but at the second Louisville game that I was with my brothers, and second half of the Louisville game, Jack Stern was kicking balls really hard from 15 yards away, rips one directly into the side of Austin Berry's head. It was fucking brutal. Austin Berry was down for 15 minutes on the ground. This is pregame. Jack Stern never went over to even tap him on the shoulder and say sorry. Didn't say a word. He just kept doing what he's doing. This guy, wow. Powerful positivity. He injures someone, he just keeps on moving. Doesn't even stop. This year's next KLR Award, Best Ad Board Crash. And there were some good nominees. I might have missed some. Our nominees were Danny Koenig, Forrest Lasso, and Fernando Adi. Nick, what are your thoughts on the ad board crashes in general? It's really something we should take care of before one of these guys gets seriously hurt.
Yeah, really. I mean, do we really need consumerism all up in our face that close? You know, I mean, no.
Kevin, is that you? Sorry. Share the wealth. Zach, what are your thoughts? And then you can announce the big winner. Here's the envelope.
Yeah, my thoughts are there are far too many. They need to scoot those fucking things back. It's ridiculous. Forrest Lasso is the winner because it was the most brutal.
I enjoyed Danny Koenig's the most, But yes, Forrest Lasso, as we all unanimously agreed, winner of this year's Clier for Best Ad Board Crash. Worst Away Game nominees are TFC 2, that's Toronto folks, New York Red Bulls 2, or Richmond Kickers. Nick, do you want to reveal the big winner for worst? Oh, I'm sorry, and could forget Louisville City. Nick, who was our unanimous choice?
So,
open the envelope that I faxed you, and then you put in an envelope.
the envelope, this one, I don't know. I think my daughter grabbed it. So would you mind announcing?
We're going with the Richmond Kickers.
Yeah,
Louisville,
Richmond.
too obvious. Richmond, that place depresses me. What a bum out. They've got a fan section called the Red Army. It's 5 guys. But congratulations. I'll be sending you your Clier Award as soon as the FCC supporters get our fucking sword from the sword guy. Said we want a sword. Oh, wow. This one, folks, is going to blow some minds. Best FCC reporter. And the nominees are Charlie Hatch, Paul Doherty, Sharon Coolidge, Jeremy Rauch, Chuck Wharton, Ken Brew, Jason Williams, George Vogel, Lindsay Patterson. Zach?
You know, it's an honor for all of them to be
just to be
nominated. And I think you covered the whole spectrum.
Oh, I'm like, guys, this is embarrassing. I forgot someone. After all this, no, I did. No, it's embarrassing. Elise, Jesse, how can I forget? We worked together. We worked at La Rosa's, and then I forget you. But clearly she didn't win because I forgot to even nominate her. Oh, that was embarrassing. I goofed on that one. But yes, so the unanimous winner, and like, again, I just want to say, just to be nominated puts you in a class above. The winner of Best FCC Reporter, Nick's daughter stole this one too. Zach, please do me the honors.
Oh, man.
Paul Doherty! I love your even-keeled takes. You always put things in perspective for me. You don't know shit about soccer. You don't care. Neither do I. Love what you're doing. Jeremy Rauch, you were a close second. For this year's Clier for the Just Like Us Player of the Year, the nominees were Richie Ryan, Corbin Bone, Spencer Ritchie. So who was the winner for this year's inaugural Just Like Us Player of the Year award? I'd say the criteria is who's a player who's, he's just like us. just one of the guys.
I think this one was unanimous.
Please.
Richie Ryan, you're just like us. I've loved watching your children grow. That's the creepiest thing I've ever said. But
yeah, I was gonna say,
if you're getting face tattoos, I don't think you could be the just like us. And Spencer Ritchie, you're not like anybody.
You're an alien in the best way possible. I'm glad we all agreed beforehand on Richie Ryan, because I was gonna say the same thing like I did. He's presenting his child in a more, in a way we can all relate to. Corbin Bone, mostly pictures, but I've seen Richie Ryan's kid knock over the garbage can. We've all been there. Garbage everywhere. There, it was basically empty. But yeah, and he's kind of old like us, gets hurt like us. He's Irish like us, according to Ancestry.com, and according to Nick's hair. So it's a big Irish podcast, whether we knew it or not. So congrats, Richie. Honestly, I think that's the most important award of the whole Cliers. With their silver more. For the Best Lahoud sponsorship, Nick, you definitely got the envelope back for this one. The nominees were Power Bar, whatever that watch brand is, and Umbro. Nick.
Oh no, I'm really nervous over here pulling this out of the envelope, and it seems as though my sweat has smudged. So
you worried about saying the wrong Lahoud sponsorship?
I don't want to have like a.
Just be bold.
I don't have a quip ready for this, bro. So just you can really just eeny meeny miny.
Oh, I can. It looks like it's the watch.
Yes. But I don't know. It wasn't. Is it really the best? Because I don't remember the watch.
I didn't want to have a La La Land situation.
I understand. Congrats though on the watch. We'll send the award to the watch company. For this year's Clier for most powerful example of world peace, the nominees were Nas and Dekel, Pa and Patty, and Koch's goatee. Zach?
Well, this podcast has really been about two things and two things only. Soccer, and then the conflict in Israel and Palestine. Therefore, there was never any doubt. Nas and Dekel, this one's for you.
Yeah, if these guys can play together, who can't? Kenny and Nas.
Kenny and Nas can't play together. Lance Lang and Jimmy.
Kenny's actually the most angry Baha'i you've ever seen. But congrats, Nas and Dekel. We'll be sawing that bad boy in half. Wait till you see this thing.
We'll be smashing soda streams on your behalf.
Or drinking them.
I don't know.
One or the other. For this year's anti-West End Stadium MVP, the nominees were the Cincinnati Gardens woman. You might know her from the intro. The dreadlocked white woman. Which one you're saying? I can't keep track. Jeff Capel. Cool hair, Lego head. Sorry, I'm insulting all of them as I go. And Josh Spring, featuring the security guard who kicked him out of the CPS meeting. Nick, I know you love this is the perfect one for you. Open that envelope. Who's the anti-West End Stadium MVP?
And the winner is Jeff Capel.
Oh, truly the most deserving member.
He put in a lot of work. He put in a lot of work blocking people on Twitter.
Jeff Capel is a true bitch. There's a funny clip of, I'll call him our very own Kevin, who gave us the Western Conference Minute. He speaks at the CPS meeting, and Jeff Capel was next. And as Kevin's going to leave the room, and Jeff Capel has started talking, he screams out, "You live in Blue Ash!" And it's a great, it's a great moment. And you can tell it throws him off his game. Thanks. So that was fun. He does live in Blue Ash. Fuck off, Capel. Guys, this is late in the night, you know, when the heavy hitting awards start coming one after another. We've got the technical ones out of the way. This year's Clier for Dat Dude's greatest moment. Dat Dude! The nominees were, gotta make sure my voice is right for this one, discovering the pitfalls of polyamory, incensed reaction to the Adi signing, questioning if he would attend the home opener after an off-season of endless excitement, seeking a weapon for his late-night OTR strolls, or everything leading up to the MLS bid, including threatening violence and infiltrating a rival team's local Reddit pages. Wow, those are some impressive nominees. All of them would be worthy of a Clier this year, but only one gets the award. Yes? Not now, son. Zach, who's the winner? We'll get one more award, kids.
There's a lot of debate about this one. If Jonah's kid doesn't stop knocking on the fucking door, I swear to God.
Mayor! We got 2 more awards. 1 more minute.
So, Dat Dude's greatest moment of the season. I'm not sure if I'm going to attend the home opener. It might be raining.
Yeah, the forecast at the time, I believe, was low 60s. It ended up being quite cold. But yes, after his endless posting all season long, his excitement was through the roof for roster signings and everything under the sun. When it came down to it, he was going to skip the game because it might be chilly. And folks, if that doesn't sum up Dat Dude, really, nothing does.
Yeah, some of these other moments were a lot funnier, a lot more depressing, a lot more infuriating, but this really just sums him up. Tells you everything you need to know.
This year's Clier for Koch's greatest moments, the nominees were getting rid of Lance Lang, playing Corbin Bone until the point of injury, not using his third sub for half the games, not impressing Zach enough, and not doing what we want exactly when we want it. Nick, what is Koch's greatest moment of the year?
Well, honestly, let me make sure I'm reading this right on the envelope here. Yeah, and this makes sense. It's not doing what we want. I mean, it's pretty obvious what we want, and I have no idea why he just does not do that.
Sometimes I don't know, but read our mind, Koch. A hell of a season. And finally, for the Best Picture, basically award of the year, Best Moment of the Regular Season, the nominee is Nazmi's missed chip. I don't even remember what team we were playing. I'll read this one myself. And the winner is Nazmi's missed chip. Folks, 90% of you probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
He scored in the game that he missed the chip, didn't he?
I think he did.
Bethlehem Steel. Yeah.
Nazmi's about outside of the box. He puts the most delicate little baby touch on the ball. Doesn't even get above the guy's shoulders. It was adorable. And I knew at that moment we were in for one hell of a ride this season. So Nazmi's missed chip. You are officially the best moment of the regular season. And any award show that ends on a note that high is a winner. So I want to thank everyone who participated in the Clariers this year. Special shout out to FCC Discord. I solicited some questions or some nominations. I don't know if I used any or a bunch of them. I honestly don't remember. Probably had a few. Best Blonde, I feel like, was a Discord one. But thanks for your assistance for the award categories, and I hope everyone enjoyed them as much as the winners did, including Koch not doing everything we want and Nazmi's missed chip. Final thoughts on the week before we get effing crazy in the playoffs, Zach?
No, it was a pretty fun game. Can't wait for Saturday. Nick, you'll be there sitting with me, I hope.
I sure will.
Nice. All right, Nick, your final thoughts on everything and anything.
Just thinking about how Mark Village processed the information once Koch posted up in the locker room the starting 11, which he probably didn't post, but in my head, that's the way it plays out.
I'll tell you what, he's currently etching his name in a halfway house somewhere in the wood banister. That's a Shawshank Redemption reference, folks. Don't look that up. But yeah, poor Village. So I'll give you another chance to say something profound.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty pleased with the way that they have played the last couple games, especially last night. I don't know. I think we've turned a corner. I think the next time we meet,
Blowout City.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, this is either the last time you'll hear from us during the season, or there could be four more. Or no, there's at least one more. So there'll be one more episode or four more. And let's hope there's four more. My final thoughts, Clyers forever, Louisville never, Pat Brennan are bad. You'll get a nomination next year. Just keep your nose to the grindstone.
For a different award.
Most angered Zach has been. No, Pat Brennan liked a personal tweet of mine, so I'm nothing if not easy. Pat Brennan, you're cool with me. Just keep liking them tweets. Rise together!